Let's head north now for the semifinal in the two-way bracket. Top-seeded Red River playing host to Wahpeton. Rough Riders get the ball first and cash in on their opening drive. Thomas Kraft punching it in from 3 yards out. 7-0 lead for Red River. But the Huskies had plenty of bite to their game Friday. Wahpeton goes right down the field on their opening drive. Bjorn Kibella throwing it up to Jackson DeVries, takes it away from the defender. It's a 7-7 ball game. After that great grab, the early shootout continues with a vicious rush. Watch this. Thomas Kraft looks to be stopped, somehow breaks free here, spins away and scores to put the Rough Riders back on top. And Red River is heading to its first Dakota Bowl and its first championship game in 37 years. Rough Riders win it 35-22.